Hi. So I'm going to show you how you make a repeating group where you can add multiple items into it and then send a message or dispatch all those items after you're done doing so. So, make things simple. I'm going to create just a blank page. I'm going to give it a column layout. And then inside this layout, I'm going to add a group in the center. And this is just going to contain the repeating groups. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna add a flat color, just add a little bit of styling here. I usually just go, you know, with some basic styling, nothing crazy. Add a little padding, and then we're gonna center it in the center, of course. And then inside this group here, get rid of the min height. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a repeating group there, and then we're gonna add a form on the top. So let's go ahead and just add a form up here. So this repeating group, we're gonna make it so nothing shows up until there's items in it. So let's go ahead and for an example, I'm gonna go ahead and create a thing, right? So the thing is gonna be parent thing, and then I'm also gonna create inside of it. It's gonna be a list of other things. So child thing. So we got parent and child thing, right? So inside parent, I'm going to create a bunch of child things. So children, there's going to be a list of children, and we're going to do a child thing, right? And then for child thing, we're going to give it a name, and we're going to give it a type of text, and then we'll do a number, whatever. So we'll do a number, and this will be a type of number. And then to make things a little bit more interesting, let's add an option set called state or something like that. And then we'll do happy, sad, mad, glad, whatever. And then I'm gonna add that state inside here as well. So let's go ahead and go back to the data type, and then we'll do status, state, whatever. So state. So now we got three things: name, number, status, state for each child thing. So a parent thing will have multiple child things inside of it, right? So on this workflow here, we're gonna want a way for a parent thing to be created. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have, let's go ahead and have another page on here. So I'm just gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna call this one right here the parent maker. And then this one's going to be the child maker, right? So the parent maker isn't going to need a repeating, well, actually, let's do that. So we're going to do, on the top, we're just going to do create new parent, and this will be on top. This will have a height of 32, and get rid of the fit with content. And then here, I'm also going to make this like a layout of 320, or fit with whatever. Max width 320, bam, perfect. Same for here, max width 320. Open to content. Cool. And it's add spacing 20. And then this button right here is going to do, it's going to create parent, right? And this will be a list of parents. So parent things. Do a search for parent things. And we're going to do all of them, right? And then I'm going to add a text inside. This will be the parent, current sales parent things, unique ID. And then we'll also do another button inside of it called edit parent. So let's go ahead and make this a little bit smaller, and then turn this into a row, and then this will just give it some ID. I want to make sure this repeating group is not fitting to content, and then we're going to split everything. So we'll make sure it's all nice and centered. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Dynamic amount of rows, and then bam, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and give this a width of 10, and then transparent to separate the reading group. Go ahead and preview here. Shouldn't really look like much. That's what we want. All right, got that. Now we're gonna get rid of the border style, get rid of that. And then we're gonna add a conditional when, so what we're gonna do here, yeah. So I'm gonna do a search for, oops, parent things, count is greater than 0. This is visible. And then make sure it's not visible in page load, bam, bam. So now, that shouldn't be visible at all. And we're gonna do this, and what this is gonna do is create a new parent. And it won't have any children in it, but all we're doing is creating a parent. And what's gonna happen, it should just make a list of parents. So we create a parent, there it is. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this text a lot smaller, just because, you know, I don't know, doesn't matter. And then I'm also gonna make this font smaller there, and get rid of this padding. And this should not be an icon, just make it that. And we'll give it some padding on there. I think we should be all right. Perfect. So, got your ID, added parent. So what this is right here gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and set up a state on here called selected parent. And this is gonna be a parent, or the parent thing, right? It's only gonna be one, and there won't be any selected. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it so when there is no selected thing, so child maker, when child makers selected parent is empty, or is not empty, this is visible. So now it should be completely empty. We got our parents here, and I'm gonna do it also on here when do a search for, this is for UI purposes, and when do a search for parent things, count is greater than 0. I don't know why that does that. Greater than 0, label will be create another parent. All right, so in here, what we're gonna do on this repeating group is we're gonna set the data to be deliveries, or sorry, not a child thing, and then we're gonna do child makers, selected parents, children, right? And then it's gonna have a dynamic amount of rows. At 20. Get rid of that fixed height. And now, let's go ahead and add text in here. And then we're gonna add 3 more texts. One text is gonna be for the name. So what I'll do here is I'll add some styling, and then we'll do selected number. And then we will do the state. Cool. So now each child, so if I were to, I might have to fix this. Now in here, for edit parent, we're going to want to set the state of child maker. Select a parent to be current self string. And then I'm going to add another random button on the bottom, and it's going to say back to parents. And then here I'm going to make this conditional when child maker is visible, is not visible, isn't visible, this is visible. And then here I'm just going to make it so this workflow will remove the state of child maker of selected parent. And then once that happens, everything should just disappear. So let's see how that looks. Oh, also, let's make it so this is only visible when child maker is visible. Cool. So now when I edit parent, should go to that, and just simple UI. So now I can create another parent, edit parent, and then we have a selected parent in here. So that's simple enough, right? So this input, what could this be for? So we want to create a child, right? So this is going to be the form. So I'm going to make a form here. So this is going to be the name, thing name, or child name. This will be the status or the number. So number selection is selected number. And then this will be the status. Let's get rid of that, make it a drop down. So drop down status. Select status. This would be dynamic choices, option set, status, state, all states, all state stands. All right, cool. Now we got that, 32, get rid of the fixed width, right. And let's add some spacing in here. And then here, I'm just gonna make this a group itself. This is gonna be the form, the new child form. And get rid of the fixed wrapping. That's chasing that. Get this to be 32, this to be 32. Get rid of that, get rid of that. I do all the styling just by default for myself. I don't know. This is how I do it. So there we go. And then I'm also gonna add in here, it's gonna be the ID. Result things unique ID. So we have so we can see differences. And then into this right here, I'm also going to group these. And I'm going to add a little padding. So I'll do 10. And then I'm going to give it some roundness and a flat color. Make it a little grayer. There we go. And then each one has some spacing. Let's give it 10. Actually, we'll do divisible in 4s, so we'll do that, and then 0. All right, and now what we're gonna do is make this hidden. So when child makers selected parents children count is 0 or greater than 0, this is visible. God, why does that always do that? This element is visible. All right, and then we're also gonna get rid of that border style. And then inside here, I'm gonna say create new child, and give this heading 6. Bam. create new child, child name, select the number, select status, bang, bang. And then what we'll do is add a button on here. And this will say add child. And I don't like how these buttons are just huge. Add child, put that in the right, blah, blah, blah. We got that. Now we're gonna wanna add a workflow for this one. So this is gonna do create new thing, and it's gonna be a child thing, add all fields. Name is gonna be input name, value, and then input number. And actually this needs to be a number, integer, and it's just fine. So that should work. And state will be drop down, select status value. And there it is. Create new thing. And then what we want to do is make changes to the child maker's parent, children, add, bam. And now, inside here, we're gonna want like a way to remove it. So we can do in here, remove child. It's 32. And all right, let's give spacing and everything here. And then here, what we're gonna do is just make it remove, delete thing, and that's it. Now we should be able to add children to each parent. So test. We'll give that there. Sad, add child. All right, and now I'm gonna add another one for that. I got two more, so I can add mad, 5, something else. All right, so now we have that. We can remove the child, we can add childs. Another thing I'm gonna do is get rid of the debug mode so I can have a full screen to myself. So go in here, you can see that the children are still inside of it. So what I'm gonna do is make it so we can now dispatch all this stuff. So let's go ahead and add another button here. I'm gonna create this in a route, in a row container, conditional when child maker is visible. All right, so let's get rid of this condition, make this always visible now, and then in this here, button, bottom buttons, and then we can give it a 10, max width of 320, fit with the content, get rid of that min height, add another button there. This is going to be update. So when we're creating a child, and I'll do post, or we'll do post parent. So when I post the parent, what's going to happen is it'll take all the children inside that parent, and then we will do something with that data. So let's go ahead and get rid of this fit with the content here. All right. Outline button. Come on. Just do like regular label. Get rid of this. Buttons are always weird when you use fit with the, or get rid of fit with the content and all that. So let's fix that shite. Of course it goes to that label. Perfect. All right. So we'll post the parent back to parent. So what happens here? We'll go ahead and add a workflow here, post the parent. And what this is gonna do, let's make sure we do this right. We're gonna message the browser, and this will just be the list of items. So we'll turn it into an object. So we'll do, uh, let's see, best way to do this. So when I post the parent, I gotta figure out the best way to do this. Out of that, post parent, test something else. All right. So, wow. Okay. All right. Um, test and something else. Test something else. So, child thing's name. Gotcha. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this into an object. So this is gonna be what we're gonna do is bam, right? We'll do ID, bam, bam. All right. So yeah. All right. So we're gonna do ID. I'm gonna do the ID here. This is gonna be a string. So there's that. And then we're gonna do the name. That's also gonna be a string. Do that. And then we'll do number. That's gonna be that. And then the status, and then status. It's also going to be a string. And that's it. So ID will be current things, just child things at unique ID. Name will be current things name. Number, get rid of the 0, will be current things number. Status will be current things status state display. And then we have a delimiter that will separate each object. So back to the parent. One here, post parent. There it is. Look at that. We have 2 objects inside of this parent, and we posted it. So you can do whatever you want with that. And I believe that's all you need. Cool. I'm pretty sure I got the example set up the way that you hopefully intend on using it. And if this is confusing, please let me know. I hope that I can make this easier on you guys on how to make dynamic repeating groups with children and parents and all that fun stuff. This is ideally what you would use to make conversations or add context to conversations, create threads, um, or, for my use case, I create routes for delivery people or something like that. So this could have multiple use cases. And this is just like one way of doing it. There's probably more than many ways to do it this way, but this is how I have it set up for now. At least creating children and parents and then setting them up together like this. So if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. I'll be glad to help. All right, have a good day.